What's going on, brothers? It's L.O.M. Mgtow the name. Got another video for you. It's written title, Fight For Me. Here goes. Shout out to all you brothers who commented on my last video. Your insight and your input was greatly appreciated. We're proud of you brothers. Now, on the video. So, for you brothers out there who are worth your salt, you brothers out there who have eyes to see, ears to hear, and you young men out there who are getting watched to the game, you've all probably heard this notion once in your life, whether in your teen years or in adulthood, where some DNA dumpster or one of these hybristophiliac thoughts comes up with these bullshit scenarios where they'll try to ask if you will defend them or fight for them. In other words, if she points, you destroy. You've all heard that shit, haven't you? Well, me personally, that notion is one notion that I really cannot stand. I hate that notion with every fiber of my being because that notion has ended so many young men's lives and men in general. I mean, do you know how many men and boys have basically landed in prison or in a cemetery because of these bullshit notions, where these tribes try to sucker them into getting into a fist fight? For instance, there was a video on Mgtow Moments over on TikTok where this tribe was asking her boyfriend a question. If he caught her kissing another man, would he pull her off of him and beat his ass? And the young man replied, hell no, because once I catch you kissing him, you're his problem, not mine. And then she looked at him puzzled and said, why? And then an argument started. So basically, she wanted to see blood. She actually gets off on his pain, misery, and even his death. That's fucking sick. But hybristophilia is present in a lot of women here in the Western Hemisphere, and that's why a lot of them are insufferable. I mean, I gotta hand it to a lot of these young men. A lot of y'all are really getting watched to this game, and it's good that you're doing this because you're saving yourself a lot of pain and misery, and you're even saving your life. I mean, even the young men are basically saying, why the hell would I ruin my life or forsake my freedom to defend you or fight for you? I mean, that's petty. It's stupid. Because if anything, all he's doing is fighting for own sick amusement. But they expect that out of young men. They expect young men to be stupid. They are banking on the ignorance of young men and the ignorance of men in general. But for men worth their salt, men who have eyes to hear, we already know the game. And that's why a lot of these tribes say are getting ghosted. They don't like that. They can't stand it, but at the same time, consider this. These tribes were fine with ghosting men. You see, ghosting didn't become a problem until men start doing it to them. See? I mean, this is the wrong fucking time to be trying to sucker any young man or men in general into a fist fight or getting into trouble because she's hybristophiliac. It's stupid. It's pointless. And besides, I mean, this is the wrong time for this shit. I mean, this is not 1987 or 1992. I mean, young men aren't going to be on some Daniel LaRusso, Johnny Lawrence shit. Those days are gone, long gone. I mean, nobody's going to just get into a fist fight because they were suckered into one by one of these trollops. Now, there are a few simps out there who are dumb enough to still do this, and they'll learn the hard way But it's a good thing that young men today are getting wise to the game and waking up to this shit. Hybristophilia is disgusting. I mean, they're turned on by men who are violent, but when you question them about this, they want to speak sideways or pretend they're not turned on by this shit, and you'll be able to tell from the jump that they're lying. They're turned on by it. That's why 50 Shades of Grey sold millions of copies. You see, they're not a mystery to men anymore. They're not a mystery to young men and men anymore. And I'll say it like this. The tribes today have absolutely no fucking respect for relationships. You hear? They have no respect for relationships. You see, they can bitch and complain about getting ghosted, but at the same time, you're not supposed to utter a fucking peep when you bring up hypergamy, you bring up how these tribes try to monkey branch to richer men. You can't bring up the fact that these tribes expect to be let off the hook for their dirt. I mean, the whole thing's a spider web of shit. And young men are just tired of it. Men in general are tired of it. So much so that you're starting to see a little bit more comedians out there saying that they support our message. Ones with ubiquitous tattoos, ones who are weather beaten, and ones who say all these pretty words, or in our comment section giving us words of encouragement. But for me, I don't need that. My survival comes first. How about you, brothers? Does your survival come first? What are your thoughts on the subject? Do you believe that too many men and young men have lost their lives because of these hybristophiliac thoughts? Here in the comment section. This is L.O.M. Mgtow. That's all I got. If you like the video, like share and commentary, for you to subscribe. If you're doing this, my channel, you find a tip jar on the upper right side of the screen. That's the G+ icon. Right, fam? Right, brethren? You know it's real. You know it's in going with the boy SYSPM. As for these hybristophiliac thoughts, these troublemakers, and these DNA dumpsters who would like to come up with scenarios where men would have to fight for approval and for attention, give them nothing. This is Mgtow PSA. Welcome, sit tight. See you soon.